How does mobile change marketing?
Because our customers are now connected everywhere they go. And this means that we as businesses, as advertisers, as marketers need to think about how this changes our fundamental value proposition, how this changes the way that we connect with these customers, the messages that we send them. The ever-connected customer is a whole new consumer behavior.
Well, mobile's changing marketing in many, many tectonic shift ways. The one that feels the most relevant to me is how personal and close to retail, or close to the checkout that the device itself is, and what it means to us because it's our very own. I have to, of course, mention how it's changing marketing through games because it's, again, such a personable, and playful medium where consumers can spend more and more time, which also means they can spend more time with brands.
Marketers can now really amplify and expand on all of the programs that they have bought with traditional media. So for example, with television, when they buy social TV activations on a mobile platform, whether it's a smartphone or a tablet, these two screen experiences give them a way to connect in a way that they never have before against the TV asset with two-way dialogue, interactive marketing components, social activation, and data gathering, everything you can imagine. It's
profoundly, in my opinion. We have different screen sizes, we have a touch screen, and we have much higher user engagement.
If you're writing an application, if you're developing one, it's going to have to be written according to whether or not it can be used efficiently over a wireless network, because there isn't going to be a lot of new wireless spectrum coming into the hands of consumers for many years. While we see LTE, the new 4G technology, being built out quite a bit, and that will be helpful, in the next decade is going to be crunch time for a lot of consumers and the spectrum that they need. So the supply of spectrum will be outstripped by demand, but we will hopefully see a lot of innovation in the marketplace that will cure that eventually, but we might be behind the curve.
Before, during, and after the show. Before the show, it's all about using the device to buy more tickets. During the show, it's really about the engagement and the opportunity to interact both with your friends, with the artist, and being able to post and share that experience. And after the show is about content and how you have the opportunity to share that content, view that content after the show.
The fact is, like me and many consumers, I don't really check PC anymore to read my news, to get my updates. I do everything on this guy. I don't even play games online anymore. I do everything on this guy. So the bottom line is, as consumers shift towards that, advertising dollars are going to have to follow to reach people where they are.
You know, there's this idea that she's always consuming, and knowing where she is when she's consuming that content is the opportunity. It's not easy, but it's really kind of cool to think about that idea of getting closer to the moment of truth when she's at the store by talking to her right when she's on the way.
The key change is the importance of location, right? The users have this device, and it's the first device in history where we're not only able to advertise to users on the device, but then they actually bring that device with them into stores, which just creates an entire paradigm shift that we can begin to take advantage of.
Mobile is changing marketing in many, many ways, but what interests me the most is how it's changing the future of advertising agencies. Mobile devices, especially as bandwidth increases, allow the holy grail of the creative ad unit: sight, sound, motion, and interactivity. Think tablet full-page advertising. That's where advertising agencies are focusing their energy.
It's helping us evolve from a channel conversation to more of a consumer experience conversation. Mobile's truly a touch point. It's not just the channel. It stitches and can thread stories across categories and channels. Notions of time and place and context become more important.
Imagine you're an auto advertiser and you're used to targeting by different channels or different content in the auto space. But what if you also knew that that consumer had been on an auto lot 4 times in the last 6 weeks? That might make targeting much more interesting. That might make your ROI much higher.
Mobile to me is something that's, it's really shaping the new platforms that we have to, it's a new platform, but it's really shaping the new ways we look at innovation and technology. And when it comes to creativity, it's one of those things that really, when in a world of collaboration, when you actually have a hands-on feel for how things operate, it's something that can change how brands not only look at themselves, but how they look upon others, and it can really grow conversations from a dialogue standpoint.
We need to get out there and reach this audience and find the most effective way to do so. We don't want to interrupt what they're doing out there, so it's a whole new way of trying to engage an audience and be relevant to an audience while they're doing whatever they're doing during their daily activities.
I think that it's an easy touch point. Consumers are always turned on with their mobile, so it's just joining the consumer and brand experience to make it one.
For the first time, advertisers have the ability to reach consumers wherever they are at the right time, at the right place, in the right environment, and we're realizing what advertising is meant to be.
We sought direction in e-commerce to build out a new mobile platform in order to capture both acquisition traffic and better convert existing traffic coming in on those channels.
Mobile has changed marketing for me, just kind of being able to reach a user when they're in that moment of consumption.
Most people are walking in, they're actually converting in store, but also we're seeing a lot of like actual phone calls being made in ways that people forget that the phone was originally, made to make phone calls and actually convert also in that way.
Context and location are the two things that mobile delivers uniquely.
And marketers and above all agencies and creators have to think about this from a different perspective and utilize a completely different canvas. But at the same time, it's our first screen, so it has most potential and it's really where you need to be.